Hello, I'm the MLP Reviewer 66, and today I'm going to be reviewing the MLP episode Daring Don't. Okay, first off, guys, Indiana Jones reference for the win. Who besides me loves this episode because it is bloody awesome? Who else? What? No one? Really? Okay, I suppose I should go ahead and target the giant elephant in the room, because heaven knows the tigers already have. Yes, Daring Do is indeed a real character in the MLP story, and not just a character within a story within a story. These are now canonized facts, so everyone can stop whining about it. I'm sorry, but I've been hearing no end of complaints about this, and I really don't see it as that big a deal. It's a world where you have a magical Discord creature who could, with a snap of his fingers, could alter reality. A world where the sun and the moon are raised and falled by two all-powerful, or rather, semi-all-powerful, wink wink, nudge nudge, say no more, alicorns, and talking horses. And yet, because there is a character within a character that is in a story that was supposed to be originally just Rainbow Dash inserting herself into a characterization, but then turned out to be an actual character within her own right. Yes, that's a little weird. But once again, talking horses. Logic made. Okay, now that I've got my whining out of the way, let's get into the actual story, shall we? The thing I loved about this episode the most was the fact that we finally get to see Rainbow Dash in a very much different light than we normally do. We normally see her in the light of, oh, she is this headstrong, thinks she's the greatest kind of character. She's also very much the, I suppose you could say, jock character, like she is the racer, the athlete, that kind of thing. But in this one, it takes like a complete 180 because, for one, we don't really see her so much as the athlete in this episode as the complete and total nerd, which is shown beautifully by her little conversation with Twilight, which was the highlight of that episode, by the way. I love that conversation she has with Twilight, like, oh, what happened in this book? Oh no, but you forget, this in this book kind of counteracts that. Oh yeah, well this counteracts that in that book. It's just awesome. But besides for that, I would say that we also get to see her in sort of a weird light that she usually is very confident in her own abilities, probably too much so that she is so confident in herself that sometimes she becomes a little bit blindsided by her own weaknesses, and also the fact that, well, when she thinks she's so good, she doesn't really think that anyone else could possibly be better, and that can prove to be a fatal flaw. But in this episode, it's the exact opposite, because she looks up to Daring Do so bloody much that she basically just downs herself, which can also be a very bad thing and can lead to some very bad self-image problems. But that's getting into a whole different thing about idolization and putting people on pedestals and all that kind of stuff. But you get my point. We get to see Rainbow Dash in a light that we don't normally get to see her in. I heard someone say that this should be a Fluttershy episode, not a Rainbow Dash episode. Like, as far as the whole learn the lesson of you should be more confident in your own abilities and probably shouldn't put people up on pedestals and all that stuff. But at the same time, I think that Rainbow Dash's thing is much more interesting because we get to see her in a different light. The thing I love about this show in general is the fact that we don't always see it as a cookie-cutter character as you might in other shows. Yes, they all have certain personalities that they work with, but anytime you think you have a certain hold on a character, the show sort of shows you, no, there's more to this character than just that. A good example of that is a couple of seasons ago when Rarity was always seen as the prissy Rainbow Dash opposite pony, where Rainbow Dash was always tough and didn't care how she looked. It was sort of like Rarity was the pony that really cared what people thought of her. She really wanted to be sophisticated and well classed and all that. But we also got to see in later episodes in the past that she can fight when she needs to, and she can manipulate people, or rather diamond dogs or even other ponies, if she needs to. we're getting to see growth and rarity in that, and now we're getting to see growth in Rainbow Dash in this, seeing that when she goes up to people that are of her own caliber or even more, like as far as the people that she looks up to, the ability that they can do, like Daring Do being able to, of course, solve all these incredible mysteries and do all these incredible things, or even the Wonderbolts, who she also looks up to, being able to be the fastest flyers in Equestria. The fact that there is people out there that the great Rainbow Dash who never seems to have any doubts about herself, that she looks up to and puts them even higher than she puts herself, that is something that is outside of her normal character, but it is also something that is still very much a part of her normal character. So, I know this episode doesn't really look like much, and I know it seems to be just another bland episode to some, and some that may think that it's even a bad episode because it is an episode that shows something a little bit out of the ordinary with the whole Daring Do thing. But when you really stop to think about the ramifications it has with Rainbow Dash's character and how we're getting to see how her mind works, I think this whole thing works out very well. So I would highly recommend this episode to anyone and everyone that wants to see Rainbow Dash in a bit of a situation that she isn't always in. So, I'm the MLP Reviewer 66. Thank you, and good night.